Senator Carlyle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
State your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my great honor to join my good friend Senator Brown in taking a moment to express my gratitude of being her partner in service, as well as all of my colleagues, as well as you, Mr. President. I feel a deep sense of fulfillment and completion and accomplishment in joining you, Mr. President, today as we prepare to end our legislative session. I've had the great honor for 14 years of being a partner in service on so many challenging issues. And I'd like to take just a moment. I know that it doesn't need to be said, but on occasion it probably should, that the people of America's 36th district are just the most entrepreneurial, passionate, engaged, spirited, and gracious, well-dressed, and humble people in this state. Just fabulous, fabulous community that I love so much. When I first ran for office, my 4 wonderful and amazing children, Nava, Zev, Liat, and Addie, were 1, 3, 7, or 5, 7, 9. And now they're 15, 20, 22, and 24. And it's been the honor of my life, of course, along with my amazing wife, Wendy, to the love of my life and the spirit and the soul that drives me to raise my children during this time of service. At the same time, I've worked full time like many of you and like many of my colleagues, and it's a real challenge. You know, like everyone, I think my journey here has not been easy. I was raised as the only child of a hippie single mother who struggled with mental illness for many years and was the only woman welder in a shipyard of 250 men and went through all of those challenges. But my big break actually came when I walked into this Capitol building as a 14-year-old page and walked into the House of Representatives and saw the name Whatcom County up there where I was from, and I just really had an amazing experience. And from there, I got to go for an amazing journey in my life to Washington, D.C., where I served as a U.S. congressional page for Senator Warren Magnuson, Senator Scoop Jackson, and for a brief time, Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill. And what I learned from those legislative giants is something that I have thought about every day, and I've learned from so many of my colleagues, which is the spirit of bipartisanship and compromise and negotiations and smart incrementalism is the essence of representative democracy in this constitutional republic. It is powerful. It is what moves us forward. It's what keeps us safe and moving forward at the same time. I reject rigid ideological purity, and I really admire the deeper connection that we make in terms of relationships, trust, authenticity, and in very serious policy challenges. And I have enjoyed over the course of my time working on some of the most challenging issues, and I've been so honored to be a leader in so many of the toughest issues we faced, and I've learned a lot and failed a lot and succeeded a bit. I'm very proud that we have the strongest 100% clean energy bill in the nation, and I would say that that 100% clean energy bill in the nation, which is the toughest, was the only major clean energy bill in the nation that the utility industry supported. And they supported it because they felt heard and seen. And so we designed policies that actually worked, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we have an economy-wide carbon pricing that is historic. I'm proud of so much of the climate work that sets us on the path toward Paris Agreement level emission reductions while growing our economy, protecting and growing jobs. I'm proud, Mr. President, of the fact that the value of a tax preference is now public information with accountability and measurements and metrics which didn't exist before. I'm proud and grateful to the support of my colleagues that when I first entered the legislature, the graduation rate of high school for foster youth in the state was in the mid-20s, and it's now in the mid-50s. We've doubled it through investments in Treehouse and so many other investments that I hope my colleagues will continue for years to come. When I go to Magnolia in my district, it's so exciting to see the kids line up and go to school, and I played an instrumental role in reopening that school. And it's just one of those small little things that you know that you made a difference in the world. I've done my best, Mr. President, to leave it all on the field and to run through the tape and to try to serve with grace and authenticity. And so much of my accomplishments and success came from an unbelievable staff that we have in this institution of the legislature, also my legislative aides and so many others. And I just am so grateful for the essence of a citizen legislature. I think it's powerful where it's real people living real lives and bringing our full selves to this work. I'm also, I think, known in some ways for what I failed to accomplish. And I think that matters as well. I just want to take just a brief moment to thank Senator Warnock and others who stood with me on the issue of the death penalty when it was difficult and challenging and hard. But I know that that bipartisan vote for multi-year over the years brought out something deep in that time of reflection, and I feel so very strongly about that issue. And I want to thank my colleagues for their support. I believe deeply in the issue of privacy, that we have a fundamental moral right to our own independence and freedom, and not to be tracked every step of the way in our lives. And I'm sorry to have not been successful at that. But ultimately, I think I think it's just such a fabulous institution, and I have been so honored to work on really meaningful historic issues and to accomplish some on behalf of my community and to build relationships that are very meaningful to me. I'm very grateful for my constituents, my family, my community, my friends, and all of you. And I also appreciate that when we're gone, and there is just a robust energy that continues with new people and new spirit and new drive and new passion for issues, and that's what makes our quality of life so special. It's hard to be a prophet in your own land, and we know that as a state for all of us, we have a beautiful quality of life. We have a strong, robust quality of infrastructure, of educated workforce, of education, of jobs and economic opportunity and natural resources. And I just hope and pray that we continue to value it and to do that work with meaning and with purpose. So with that, Mr. President, I could not be more grateful for the honor of having been your and all of my colleagues' partner in service. Thank you.